everybody, Dani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On today's video, I will be talking about a social media app named Peoople that is mostly known in Spain and now is spreading to other countries such as Portugal. So on our last video, I talked about what exactly is this app and how you can make money on it. And as I promised, this week I'll be talking about ways to grow on this platform. It's basically a social media platform, but very different from Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and anything that you can think of. If you still don't know what this app is about, then please make sure you check our previous video so you'll be getting an idea of what it is. Otherwise, this video will make no sense to you. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into our first tip to grow on this social media platform. So the first tip I have for you to grow on Peoople is making sure that you interact with others. This is not a social media platform where you can simply grow without helping others to grow. If you think about it, the more interactions you have with other people's accounts, the more likely they will be to actually interact with yours as well. You have these notifications where you can see what other people have done with your recommendations, and if they see your account popping up a lot of times from likes that you give them or even recommendations that you add from their collections to your collections, they'll be like, wow, this guy is actually helping me out. I might help them as well. Don't be selfish. If you do want to grow, you need to help others growing as well. So the second tip that I have for you is related to our previous one, is not only interacting with people, but try to interact with people that have the same interests as you. This is the same thing as any other social media platform. If you think about it, you won't be interested in following someone who talks about cars if you don't like cars. If your interest is books, you will probably be following writers or people who do reviews on books or people who have a lot of knowledge and read a lot of books. But you won't really be following a photographer or, like I said, someone who posts regularly about cars or about cooking. So you do need to follow people that have the same interests as you and interact with them. If they have the same interests as you, they will be interested in following you back and actually having a look at what recommendations you have, because what you recommend is actually something that they would be likely to recommend as well. Not only that, when you have the same interests, you will be more likely to show up on other people's feeds that have the same interests as you, so you would be recommended by people to other users who are more likely to follow you back and therefore are more likely to interact with your recommendations. The third tip I have for you is related to the previous two, and it is to avoid follow for follow. Now on this app is actually so crazy. People change their names for follow in order to have other people seeing them and just following them, hoping to get that following back. You might have seen this strategy in any other social media platform, and if you see videos like this one, you will hear other people saying that it brings you short-term success, but it doesn't bring you long-term success. And let me give you an example. An account that is going to receive lots of followers but have to following them back will eventually have, I don't know, maybe 30,000 accounts that they are following. If they are following 30,000 accounts, imagine how many things they will have in their homepage to scroll through. If you are one of these followers in the middle of so many other accounts, probably your recommendation will get lost in many of the others. So these people won't help you at all in terms of earning money. Yes, you will have more followers, and yes, this will help you to overcome those challenges where you need to have a certain amount of followers, but that will be it. If you are in this app to earn money, then dude, this is not the way to go. You won't earn any money from these people who will be following, but will definitely not see your recommendations in their homepage because they have so much to see that they won't help you at all generating any earnings. So I wouldn't recommend you follow for follow. The only exception where I would recommend you doing that, yes, is if you need to get to a certain amount of followers and you have done all of the other challenges, including the ones that bring people into the app, and this is the only thing that you're missing. On that case, maybe you can try following some people, expecting them to follow you back so you can get to that specific challenge. But again, that won't help you in terms of growing, and that won't help you in terms of earning more income. My next tip for you is to not overload your feed. Now, what I mean by this is do not create 20 recommendations a day. And the reason why you do not want to do this is because, first of all, if you put all of your eggs in a basket in one day, in the next days you won't be having more recommendations to add onto your collections, and that is bad. And the other reason is because if you add 20 recommendations in one day, your followers will probably see 1 or 2 of those recommendations. So the other ones, you just wasted your time and they won't generate any earnings for you. On the other hand, your followers might not open the Peoople app every single day. And if they don't go to the app every day, if you keep on putting a lot of recommendations every single day, they will see very little of what you're posting, and so the likelihood that they're interacting with your recommendations is so low that you won't earn anything out of what you're posting. Remember that you need to post slowly. Post one day or up to 5, I would say, and then another day something else, but make sure you spread your recommendations throughout the days. Now, I can give you an example of how this can go really badly, and on my case, on 2 videos ago, I talked that I would like to have a recommendation about entertaining, and so I did. And I had so many stuff that I wanted to share with you guys, and in the hopes that you would go and see it after watching the video, I completely wasted all of my entertaining options and I just put all of the recommendations in a single day. And we're talking about 100+ recommendations. As you can expect, people probably saw 10 of these, and all of the rest were time wasted because it takes time to add recommendations and people won't interact with them, so I just lost a lot of money. My next tip is be unique, and you probably are tired of hearing this if you watch videos about growing on other social media platforms, and it's a no-brainer that we should be ourselves, but it's very tempting to post stuff that everybody is posting on Peoople. Now think about this. If you have a very general and random profile that you talk about everything, clothing, makeup, traveling, restaurants, hotels, series, books, your feed not only will look like a mess, but people won't be attracted to your feed because it's confusing, and what they can see in your feed, they can see in everybody else's feed in their Peoople. So let me give you an example as always. Imagine you are a gardener and you love flowers and, I don't know, gardening tools and trees and even gardening design, if you can call that, and you have collections about these topics. Now, other people who like gardening and they find your profile, they will definitely follow you because you have what they are looking for. Not only that, they can't find any other recommendations like yours in anybody else's profile. So your profile will be the one that they will be really interested in checking it out, opening every single collection, because you are offering what nobody else is offering. Not only that, but because you are one of the few people who have a collection about this specific topic, the other people who have the same interest will probably see your collection as a recommended collection in their homepage. So be unique, show what your profile is about, and make sure you have a specific niche that you want to be posting about. Choose what your interests are and don't just post random stuff that everybody is posting really. My last tip for you is to add recommendations that are not available in the app, but you do want to promote them, versus only adding stuff that you can find in the app. Now let me give you an example. I have a collection about entertaining and video games, and I do post about old video games and not only the video games that everybody's talking about. If you visit other people's collection about entertaining and video games, you are very likely to see stuff like God of War and Fortnite and CS and any other game that everybody is playing now. However, if I like retro games and if I'm interested in more old-fashioned games such as Pac-Man and Kirby and Super Mario and Sonic, not everybody will be talking about it. Now, the last video games that I mentioned, yes, you can find them in the app. However, there were some video games that I played when I was a child that I could not find them in the app. And that was the case of Bonkheads and King's Quest. Now, these are 2 really old video games and not necessarily people will be looking for them, I would say, but definitely some will. And if they go onto my profile and they realize that I have these games, they did not see them anywhere else, and if they are interested in them, they are very likely to add these same video games into their collection. And that was it for this video, guys. Those were my tips to grow on this Peoople platform. I hope you liked it, and if you do, please leave a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, we'll be back with more travel content. And until then, take care. Goodbye.